From awful to epic, just why are Sunderland so slow at starting some games? Welcome back to Mackems Walk. It's 15 to 20 minutes of Sunderland chat, and we are reviewing the 1-1 draw, of course, to Everton. Charlie and Leo are here to give their view on all kinds of things. This week we're talking about why are Sunderland playing theatrics with too many players rolling around on the floor. We'll talk about referees as well. Surely that was a handball. We'll get the lads' view, unbiased view, of course, on that. And we're also talking about the Arsenal game coming up this weekend. Who gets in our side? But let's focus on the game first of all. Hope you're well, lads. I'll try and stay neutral as I can as an Evertonian. Charlie, is it a fair result in the end on the balance of play?
Yeah, I'd say it is. I think Everton were kind of all over us the first 20 minutes, as I'm sure we'll get on to. We just didn't get started at all, and they definitely should have been 2-0 up with that Barry chance at the back post. I mean, your striker's got to be scoring that. It's just everything you'd want. You can see it the entire way and whatever. Let go at the back post by Reinildo, who I wasn't impressed with yesterday, I've got to be honest. But then after that, second half we absolutely dominated the game. We didn't create too much, but it was our game to take, and we just couldn't quite find that finishing touch. And at the end of the day, I'll take the point. Okay. We just need to keep taking them over for now.
Should we clear up the handball first of all, then, Leo? I'm not going to convince you any other way either. That's a penalty, isn't it?
Yeah, how they can say that's a natural position when you see how he moves his arms, but then they're talking about, okay, it was the arm that was closest to him out of the two that it hit, but then that's his arm going fully across his body, which anyone knows that's not how you defend when you're standing up against an attacker. I don't see how it's not handball, but I'm not going to sit and complain about VAR because every team gets the bad end of it and the good end of it at some point in the season. So this was just one of them times. I'm sure we will have another one later in the season where we probably should have had one against us and it doesn't. So,
Yeah. No, I'll agree with you. I think it definitely was a penalty, and it does even out our Leeds penalty. So there you go. Just come.
Are you seeing the state of the tweet from the refereeing body thing? I was in a justifiable position, and then they've blocked the comments as well, which just tells you everything that you need to know. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Right then, so let's talk about the slow starts then, shall we? The question to both of you here then. So we've seen this before from Sunderland, particularly at home games. Why are you so slow out the blocks? Why do you only wake up when you concede goals? What's going on? Is it a mentality thing? Coaching thing? What?
To be fair, I don't think it's just crept into a couple of games. It's not been consistent. Obviously Manchester United, they were very slow out the blocks. Wolves, I thought they were. I don't know what it is, to be honest. I think it could be a bit of a mentality thing or just the elements of the young squad kind of coming in a little bit. I'd seen Jacques had said after the game something about how they ended training on Sunday purely, and then that he thought that was evident in the game, which is, I'm not going to argue with that man at the minute. I'm happy to quite listen to anything he's got to say. So, it might be a bit of that. I don't know. A bit of the system as well. I think against Chelsea, because they've changed the system a bit. Against Chelsea, they were slow out the block, so that might be it as well. I'm not too sure.
Okay, Leo?
I think when you go in with a back five, you're always going to start the game, having less of the ball and maybe the other team coming forward a bit more, because that's what it's designed to be set up as, and we've been successful in it. And it's a good job that we are so good late in games because we've been in positions now. I think it's 8 points, the most in the league, that we've come back from losing positions. So it's not the biggest concern, but what was different yesterday was the fact we were just giving the ball away very silly at times. I think other times we've just kind of sat off and teams have had chances, but it's not been us creating our own downfall. Whereas last night I thought we could have done a lot better on the ball, especially in our own half. That first 20 minutes, we were just not seeming to tick at all. But, we changed it in the second half. We got it right. I think Lebris just takes some time to figure teams out, but then when he does and he goes in and gives that half-time team talk, it seems to work every single time. So, there's not too much complaints, but the way we kept the ball yesterday was disappointing.
Was that Xhaka giving the ball away right to the end, wasn't there?
Yeah.
You're lucky it ended up at the feet of two completely inept forwards. Players. I was watching it thinking, I don't know what Sunderland fans are worried about. This is not going to be a goal, and it didn't. Went out for a throw-in, I think, even to you guys. Right. Lebris said in his post-match comments, Charlie, that this has been an introduction almost to the Premier League. That game, he said that some players have really found out what the Premier League is about tonight. I think he was referring to maybe some of the physical battles going on the pitch. What did you interpret with his comments, sir?
Yeah, I think you're probably right, or maybe just kind of more street smarty type stuff, like say your defenders, for example, you Tarkowski and Keanes. There was a lot of free kicks, or even like your midfielders. A lot of them were just more experienced in the league, and they were going down easily. But when someone's running towards the corner flag, and they've got the ball and they just chop themselves the floor, and it always gets given as a foul. The amount of times like someone like Siddiqui or Reinildo, or even like Xhaka did it once. There was loads of free kicks like that they were giving away stupidly and just allowing you to slow the game down. Which you can't do that, especially with the amount of teams that just live off set pieces at the minute. I don't really think Everton do, but Christ, they'll be looking at it. But then we were also trying to go down and win a free kick and never were. Were they saying that's bias from the referee or something? I don't know. I think that's just a load of bollocks, really. It's just an excuse. But like Siddiqui losing his head, Reinildo lost his head, Mukiele lost his head. There's loads of them just kicking off. I thought Mukiele was going to get himself sent off when he got booked because he kept going. The entire team had to go over and shove him away. It was a bit like, however, man, just relax. But yeah, I think it'll be a learning curve for them, that game, in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I tell you what, if they gave points out for the amount of times a crowd shout handball, you'd be top of the league, wouldn't you? I mean, yeah, that's pathetic.
In about a 10-minute period, there was about 15.
I mean, with the referee and that's in the Premier League, you may as well just ask for it, just in case.
Well, true. Right, let's talk about some of these players then. Some theatrics. Some people, Leo, have said about Reinildo, Siddiqui rolling around a bit. Just stay on your feet, man. I mean, Sunderland are not known for a team that have got theatrics in the team, but was there far too much of that for you yesterday?
I think to start off with, definitely. I mean, as Charlie's just said, with Siddiqui and Mukiele getting them early yellows, it was from Siddiqui trying to win a foul and then getting annoyed that he didn't get it and then lashing out because of it. And then Mukiele's got his yellow from complaining about the foul that they didn't win. And it's like, you can't help but do it sometimes on a football pitch where if, the referee makes a decision you think should go your way, you start arguing it. But it's just got to be something where we've got to keep our heads and not try and get into the battle with a referee, because sometimes that can just decide a game. It is really hard to do, but you've just got to think, let the referee make the decisions. He's not going to change anything after he's done it. Just get on with it. And yeah. I think maybe that could have been a thing that Lebris was referring to, just like the youthfulness in Siddiqui to make a silly thing like that, get up and just clap at someone because you haven't won a free kick. And then obviously with the goal, there was a brilliant goal, but he's done the same thing, trying to win a foul beforehand. So, you can see it. It's evident, but it's not necessarily a problem where I'm like, this has to stop. It's just something that we need to try and figure out to keep our heads when it doesn't go our way.
Okay. Charlie, you weren't happy with Reinildo's performance?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was just he was fine. I think the problem is he's 31, 32, and he's been playing in the Champions League at a top level his entire career. Yet I watch him and I think he just looks so inexperienced. He just gets the ball sometimes in attack and he's just head down. He literally boots it forward as if he's playing kick and run and just head down sprints and ends up getting tackled. He gives away a load of needless fouls. I don't know. There's just something about him that I'm just really not convinced with yet. Which sounds I think he's probably fine as a 1v1 defender, like it's very rare that he gets passed, to be fair. So at the end of the day, that's all I can really ask for. But it's just sometimes I'm watching it, I'm like, what is going on? Like, he's just mental. And also, I'm still scarred by that Villa red card. Just another one that I just think, for such an experienced player, he looks so inexperienced. I can't quite describe it.
Yeah, I think he's just like frantic, like what you were
Yeah.
saying about the way he is on the ball, but then that's off the ball as well. Like the Villa red card, he was the one that gave the penalty away against Brentford, where he's nowhere near the ball and he's dragged them down. It's just like silly errors creeping in, and I mean, I don't know whether it's part of, because he was in a Simeone team and he's just learned to be like a little rat on the pitch, and that gets caught out a lot more in the Premier League. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I can't fault his effort, but that is what he's like. He's just a bit frantic, and he has got that bit of like losing his head in him, or just not being focused. I don't know what it is.
We'll talk about the Arsenal game in a second. Before we do, just a massive thank you to everyone who's been contributing to this channel, dropping comments. Last week we had loads of comments. Thank you to Steve Hewitt, who said Leo got it dead right. It's the first time anyone's agreed with, I think, Leo. On here, Gary says, Gary Hoyle, thank you. Aldworth says the worst game he's watched was the 5-1 between the Reds last week. We were talking about the worst ever game you've had to watch for Halloween. Robin Lawson, thank you to the D for Defoe for last week, and Tant as well. So we're building a really, really strong community over here on Where Mackems Walking. If you just come across the channel, it'll be amazing for you to just drop a quick sub. We're very close to 300, so it'll be amazing if we can wake up one morning this week and see that magic 300, though, to help us out there. Still to come this week, of course, we're talking about the Arsenal game in a second. We're also looking at which player needs a rocket, because bonfire night this week, which one player hasn't lit up the season as you have thought. We're asking Charlie and Leo where they think Sunderland will finish. And we're also carrying on with our A to Z of Sunderland AFC. We're up to letter E this week, and I've had a look. According to Wikipedia, there's only 4 players that have ever played for Sunderland with the surname E. And all of them were before 1980. So good luck, you two, with that.
I can think of one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got one.
Right. Okay. Let's see if they come up with the same one. Right. Arsenal then, Leo. How do you stop the juggernaut that is Mikel Arteta's team?
I don't know. This is probably one of the results where I'm going to look at this and be very, very surprised if we get anything from this game. It's one that you just look at and think, listen, just don't get a trouncing. If we come away with this with a loss, 1-0, I don't know, maybe 2-0, then you can just look and say, listen, they're doing this to everyone. Like, what can you do? But yeah, I'm just hoping that we don't roll over in the way that we've seen some teams do when they're like Leeds, when they conceded the first couple, they kind of just rolled over that second half and let them just score and shoot at will. So yeah, it's going to be an absolute mountain to be able to get a result, but hopefully we can do it.
Yeah, we want Xhaka to keep composure, don't we, as well, against his old side. What about the back, Charlie? I mean, do we change anything there with Ballard, Hugh, etc.?
To be fair, I think one of Hume or Ballard will end up dropping out and Alderete will come back in. And because it's Arsenal, I probably would drop Hume. So then we've just got all the big lads on for the set pieces, because they are absolutely inevitable with them. Like, I mean, actually, I say that they didn't score from. I was watching them in the Champions League before, and they didn't score for 1, and they still scored 3. So that's great. And I suppose it gives us a bit of a threat going forward as well. But they've not conceded in 6 games now. That was the first shot on target they've had in about 5 games as well. And at the end of that game in the Champions League. So yeah, I think the only change I would personally make would be Alderete, but I just don't think there's anything we can do against them, I'll be honest. I'm not particularly confident, but I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I don't think you can take Ballard out just because of his presence in the air. Like,
yeah,
that's just something that if you take that out and then they end up scoring a set piece, we'll all be thinking, why was he out the team? So, it's just one of them where we've just got to try our best. It sounds weird to say because we've had such a good start of the season, but against Arsenal, the way they're playing at the minute, like, that's all teams can do.
Right. We'll be back here, of course, next week reviewing that before the international break as well. Brilliant. One final thing about the referee. Forgot to mention it, that there's some of the fans have gone out and found that his name's Thomas Bramall and he's from Sheffield and he's a Blade supporter. Can we just stop that? Like, that is a definite Newcastle fan thing to do, right? Okay, the game's gone. It's a draw. Just leave it there. We don't want to turn into that lot.
If I was a Sheffield United fan, I'd be looking for some way to get some revenge on us with the way their season's gone, Harry. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Right then, where will Sunderland finish this season? So we are a quarter of the way through the season, which is why we're asking this again. We asked, of course, you at the start of the season. Of course, I think you both said you'd be absolutely thrilled with 17th. Have your aspirations changed? Let's find out. Leo, where will Sunderland finish this season?
I don't think we shouldn't have any confidence that we can get top 10 in the way that the league's panning out right now. I mean, the league's so condensed still at the minute. Like, I think we're only 8 points off 17th. So, like a few bad results, especially over like the Christmas period coming up, like we could be back into the bottom half. But like we said at the start of the season, 17th is what we're looking for. Any more than that's a bonus. And, we can't forget that if we start to drop down the league, we can't forget that we're a newly promoted team. And no promoted teams have been able to stay up recently, so we're still doing our job. But yeah, top 10, I mean, if we keep on the form we're going, obviously we can talk about Europe, but I feel like top 10, and KLD said it in the interview after that, now that's what we want to get. We're looking at that and thinking we can really have a crack at it.
Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was surprised to see Kirill saying that in that interview, but if he backs it up in January, then fair play. I'm quite happy to sit and watch. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what I expect we'll finish this season. Like we were saying, the league's so close. We've got such a tough run coming up, and then AFCON. Like, anything could happen. I mean, I still think we'll stay up. I'll say that, but I think it'll probably end up being 14th, 15th maybe, and I'll be absolutely buzzing with that. Okay. Like I said, I would take 17th on goal difference this season, so that would be superb.
Let us know in the comments whether you give us any advance on 10th. It's one find out on Wednesday, so we are asking which one player this season needs a rocket on their backside. As good as you've been, which one player do you think just hasn't quite hit the levels that you were expecting? Leo, have you got one?
I mean, I don't know whether I was expecting him to be at a really high level, but I would say Bertrand Traore needs more than a rocket. I haven't been impressed with him, apart from maybe the second half yesterday. But in other games, like the United game, I thought he was just not involved. Chelsea, he got subbed and we looked a completely different team after he got brought off. It's just something that he doesn't get on the ball, and I think something's going to happen the same way that our other attackers are. But we signed him for 2.5 million. Like, apart from the freeze, he's our cheapest money transfer. So I wasn't really expecting loads from the start of the season. But if he's getting starts and he's constantly being in the team, I think he needs to be giving us a bit more.
Good shout. Charlie?
I think, I don't want to keep digging out Reinildo, but I was expecting a bit more, and that he definitely doesn't need a rocket up his arse. He needs something to just relax him. Other than that, maybe like a Dingra. Like, I know he's been injured, but he was someone that we've been looking at for like two windows now, and it was kind of, they made a big deal out the signing, and then he's barely had a kick since like August. I don't know, I think it feels a bit odd, but he was one that I was quite looking forward to watching, to be honest. So yeah, I'd say a Dingra.
Okay. I don't know if you paid much attention to the Championship, but this weekend Will Still from Southampton was sacked. You remember that period of Michael Beale exiting and that period between the end, that February onwards to the end of the season, there was all kinds of Sunderland fans jumping up and down for Will still. Hard to answer this, but is that a bullet dodged?
To be fair, I actually think his Southampton team playing okay, and I think he's been a bit hard done by with his sacking. Like the recruitment wasn't being great, and it looks like the owners have kind of just went, "Oh, we're under a bit of pressure here. Let's just get rid." But I don't really have much sympathy for him because he kind of messed us over in the summer as well when we got Labrie, and we got Labrie. So this is what it is. But there's a couple of championship managers who our fans always were gagging for over the years who are under real pressure. Liam Manning, everybody want him at some stage. Cifuentes as well. Should have trusted the owners, man.
Yeah, they knew what they're doing. Absolutely. How things could be different, of course. Right. If you've been watching the last couple of weeks, then we're doing the Sunderland A to Z at the end of each of our little mini podcasts. We're up to the letter E this week. They've had it easy so far, these lads. A, B, C, D, all done with aplomb. So now we're looking for a player with the surname beginning with E, or an event, or a stadium, or something that encapsulates the history of Sunderland beginning with E. Right, I can see Charlie's already struggling, so let's go to Charlie first.
Well, all I can think of for E is Ahmed Al Mohammadi. I literally can't think of anything else. I mean, if nothing else, it's a mid-name. But, like, he didn't really do much to her. I'm on a complete blank. That's all I've got.
Okay. Leo?
The one that sprung straight to mind for me, Elliot Embleton. He was an academy lad, and although he didn't do an absolute bunch and didn't quite hit the ceiling we wanted for Sunderland, he was the one who scored that first goal in the League One playoff final. And just thinking about that game, that's kick-started our jump up the tables. And for him to get the first goal in academy lad, it was a great moment. So I'd put forward Embleton.
Okay. Just from Wikipedia here, we have Sean Elliott, who's a defender for nearly 10 seasons, who's made 368 appearances Sunderland between 77 and 86, and weirdly Billy Elliott as well in the late 50s, also played for Sunderland.
I watched all of his games. Great player.
If you watch Sean Elliott or Billy Elliott play for Sunderland, we want to hear from you. In the comments below. There's got to be a joke there somewhere, but I can't bring to mind right now. Right, you two, thanks very much for watching. You've been quite calm. I think I mean, as an Evertonian, it's. Actually, there was not about this tweet which I had to share, which made me chuckle a little bit. Sensible Sunderland says, seeing David Moyes being interviewed in the Sunderland press room again. It's made me feel a little bit sick, to be honest. Brilliant. Yeah,
I've got another shout for E. Just came to my head, you saying Everton. Big Sam, staying up. Everton 2016, 3-0.
Yeah.
That's my shout now, so Al Mohammadi.
Okay, mate. Yeah, we could have Everton that game, couldn't you? Similar. Brilliant. Right, let us know in the comments if you can think of anything better for E, and we'll see you next week. Cheers, Charlie. Cheers, Leo. Catch you next week.